Okay. So as the golf program, I've taken a class where it breaks down like the revenue that each sport brings in. And then like, so there's been debate on like, well, a football player maybe should get paid more because they bring in more of their revenue, or a basketball player, men's, females, sports, whatever. So the golf program, does that bring in any revenue to the university?
No, I think we lose a lot of money, but we actually fundraise a lot of our own funds. So I don't know exactly how much we cost the university, but I know, at least at Michigan State, I'm pretty sure football and basketball are the only two revenue sports here, as I'm sure is true across the country. Hockey might be.
Yeah, hockey usually makes $1 million one year, loses $1 million the next year. So
they
they basically break even just about. And then women's basketball is the same way. Sometimes they'll gain. Like last year, they're Big Ten champs, so they made more money. But like you never know. Like 2 years ago,
it could cost $1 million.
So, exactly. So
I don't. And that's a good question about the women's golf team. I should look that up.
Well, how does the fundraising look? You said you're taking fundraising.
Yeah. So actually, golf is a great sport to facilitate fundraising. You can play with a lot of donors, meet a lot of donors at tournaments because we travel all over the country. And we always have, it's called the Spartan Classic at the beginning of the year, usually the Sunday before school starts, where we have a full field of players come out, donate money, and we play like a scramble, 5-person scramble, and then we have a dinner that they can also come to. More people can come to that too. So we raise a lot of money for the men's and the women's programs that way. We have a raffle and a 50-50 also at the dinner.
Cool.
So, like as we mentioned, only football and basketball make money for the school. If this was true of every university across the nation, that only those two sports made money, should only those two sports be paid to play then?
Personally, I think that's the only thing that makes sense. I know it's unfortunate for me to say that because I would love it if, not just me, but, if some of my teammates who are All-Americans who are ranked, one of my teammates is ranked in the top 20 in the country right now. I would love it if she could get paid for the hard work and dedication she puts in. But unfortunately, I just think it would cost too much to the university and wouldn't make sense for the smaller schools who might have just as good caliber athletes but can't afford it. So I think if you have a revenue sport and you were able to pay them, then maybe it would be acceptable. But otherwise, I just don't think it would make much sense.
And that also brings up the question of if you do pay the football and basketball teams, then how much does each player get paid? Does Kirk Cousins make more than a third-string lineman?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's amazing like how many different things there could possibly be of who gets paid what and how much and all that stuff. So, I mean, do you think that if they did pay student athletes, should everyone make a flat rate? Or should the star players be paid more like the pros? I kind of was thinking about this, and I think everyone could be paid a low flat rate, but then maybe you get a bonus if you did a certain this or a certain that. I don't know what kind of standards you would set for the plays that you make and how that would be determined, but it could be a good incentive for programs to become better and push themselves. Yeah. I don't know. That was my thinking.
Now, as much as the outside and the fans maybe talk about pay to play and if it's right or wrong, I mean, how much is it really talked about in the Clarabelle Smith Center and among the team, and or is it something that's like just a distraction, or?
Actually, I've never heard it brought up between my teammates or any of my student athlete friends. After you guys contacted me, I started asking some of them because I was curious, and most of, at least my teammates, were kind of like, no, I don't really think that would make sense. So I don't know. Other than that, though, I haven't heard much on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that if they were to pay every student athlete on campus, even the sports that didn't make money, then in general the school is going to be losing money by paying these athletes. So where does that money come from? Do we need more donors? Do they raise tuition for the rest of the students who have to end up paying your salaries?
Yeah, I hope not. That would
be. That seems extremely unfair to the regular students if they have to pay more to come here just to pay the student athletes who are getting a free education at the same exact school. So I think that's kind of a...
Definitely.
Yeah. I can see that too. Also, I mean, so overall, I guess the vibe would be that you feel that the compensation is enough. Would you say Michigan State even does too much or too little to compensate the athletes and all the work that you put in?
No, I mean, I think Michigan State has a great student athlete program set up going here. I mean, we get scholarships, books. We have a great, like you mentioned, the Clarabelle Smith Center, great academic center that has all the resources we need, and then we have like wonderful trainers that can help us with any ailments that we're having. So I guess I wouldn't say that they're doing too much, but that's from a women's golf perspective. I don't know, maybe football or basketball would be getting different things.
You mentioned the resources that you have. Do you think it's unfair to regular students that you have all these resources, that you guys have specific tutors for you like every week, every day that you go to? That do you think you have a little bit more help, more of an advantage when it comes to classroom material than the normal students do?
I think we have, I guess you could say, extra help, but at the same time, it's really good to have a tutor that you can schedule at your need, because I know a lot of like office hours or study sessions or like review sessions I haven't been able to attend because of practice or workout conflicts or even traveling. So it's nice to have a tutor that you can say, meet me at this time when I know I don't have any other conflicts, so that they can help me with my schoolwork, because we are expected to maintain a certain GPA, and obviously there wouldn't be any sports if any other sports here if football didn't maintain good enough grades and had some of their star players out there. So
how difficult is it for you to maintain a good GPA and be an athlete doing all this time consumption and stuff like that?
It's definitely a time commitment. You know, you got to manage your time well. I mean, I guess it'd probably be just as difficult as if you had a job and your demands were about the same. Although you might even have less time on the weekends because you're traveling to Florida and you played 36 holes, 72 holes over the weekend and didn't have much time to do homework. But you know, it's doable. Yeah.
So overall, though, when it comes down to it, when the rubber hits the road, you would say that, at least from a women's golf perspective, you are taken care of, and that you feel that you are given what you need. And
yeah, I do, and I think all student athletes should appreciate the scholarship and the education that they're given. So I think paying them might detract from that, which
make it more like a job rather than just like something they love to do.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot more to just paying these student athletes, because then they're considered employees of the college. Then do they get health benefits? Do they get dental? Do they get like all this other things that falls into line of becoming a full, because they're basically full-time employees then. So I mean, like, it's tough to say, well, they're an employee, but do they get these benefits like the regular employees get that aren't playing sports on the weekends and everything? So I think it's a topic that can be debated and debated and debated for a long time to come.
Right.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I think
y'all the way it is.
Got it made. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely happy with the institution as it is. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys are busy, obviously, but you have a lot of compensation for what you do. Yeah. And I mean, you're well known around campus. People know the football players, people know the basketball players, maybe not the smaller sports like golf. It's just sad to say. But I mean, you know that you're branding our school to make it a great, not only academic school, but a great athletic school.
That's the goal.
Absolutely. Cool.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Maddie, for being on our show and for the very good insight. So, well, I'm J-Mo Williams, and this is my partner, Sal Lafada. Until next time, we'll see you later.